Anthony Melchiori, we are somewhere.
We're somewhere.
That is very exciting.
It
All
has
right.
a pool. It's at my house. Actually, that's the inside. That's the inside of my house. That's my new in-ground pool in my backyard.
I had no idea there was that much money in Hotel Impossible.
Oh, dude. I tell you, I need machines to count it.
All right, let's get started.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are at Resorts World Catskills, Monticello, New York. How exciting, Anthony. I can't believe they let us out of the house.
That's all I care about. Yeah, we're at Resorts World Catskills, and anybody that knows anything about the Catskills and gambling, getting gambling up in the Catskills has been, I think, 700-year try.
Oh, definitely. I do want to talk about that in a second, Anthony. But first, I want to remind everybody, check out our friends over at bestbuy.com/hospitality. Now's the time more than ever. Business is going to be coming back, and you want to be ready for those guests when they get there. bestbuy.com/hospitality will help you with their Geek Squad, over 4,000 members strong, help you get new TVs, give you all sorts of stuff that you need to do, IT consulting, even outdoor furniture. Check them out at bestbuy.com/hospitality. And Anthony, we love Ecotech so much that we actually brought them with us to show the good folks over at Resorts World because we love these so much. Right, Anthony?
I love these things, and they're so efficient for hotels. And the worst thing is to go into a room or go into a conference center and see those garbage cans and have stains. And this saves a lot of money.
Oh, that's right. I never even thought about it. It's been so long since we've been to an event, and we're actually going to be seeing an event center today. Great idea to use the Ecotech trash bin in the conference centers as well as the guest rooms. And of course, guys, I would be remiss if I didn't remind you about Bright Support. Remember, hotel owners, it's time to lower your property tax bill. You had falling revenues last year. Now, at least focus on the bright side of that, right, Anthony? You get those property taxes lowered by the use of the good folks over at Bright Support. All you got to do is get a 30-minute consultation for free at www.brightsupport.net/hotels, or give them a call at 833-411-2233. That's 833-411-2233. Anthony, I remember coming up here in the 80s, and a little bit farther on this property that we're on was the old Concord Hotel. And my family and I would come up here in the 70s and the early 80s. And you're right. When we came up, we saw all these big billboards, casino gambling now. Casino means jobs, all of that kind of stuff.
You know why I'm laughing? Because every time you talk and you get excited, you get close to the camera and you look like a frog.
Rivet.
Try to say it a little further away.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so freaking happy to be outside of the house.
And listen, the Concord, this is the Resorts World is on the land of the Concord. In the Concord, I mean, it was an A-list place. I mean, every A-list celebrity in the world played at the Concord. And when the Concord closed, I mean, it was like the Catskills died, and the Resorts World bringing it back and bringing back, having gambling. And I mean, it's fantastic for the Catskills because I'd imagine, I don't know, we're going to be talking to the vice president, but I would imagine the job growth here has been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So this would be a great time to bring in our first guest today. Now, guys, after we have our first guest, we're going an extra long show today because we're going to have folks from Sullivan County, that's the county where the Catskills are in, to talk about what they're doing about tourism. But first, it's very, very important for us to talk to Marcio Azevedo. Welcome, sir. You're SVP with Resorts World, handling up here in the Catskills, downstate in New York City at Aqueduct, and a brand new project that we'll talk about. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us, for coming and visiting. It is a great pleasure to welcome all of you here into the property. And I can't wait to share with you what we've done here in the last 3 places.
Hey, Marcio, could I ask you to get a little bit closer to the microphone or pull the microphone closer to you? That way we'll be able to hear you just a little bit more.
How is that now?
That's a lot better. Thank you so much, sir. So yeah, welcome. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate the hospitality here. What a beautiful site. And I got to tell you, when I think of a locals casino, I don't necessarily think about the incredible indoor pool complex that's behind us.
Yeah. So we just reopened our pool, right? Following mandates from the state and the Gaming Commission. We're ready. We're welcoming guests from the tri-state area and York City as well. We are ready to provide all of the amenities and everything else that we need to do in order to a little closer.
Right.
Awesome.
There we go.
In order
Anthony on the move. This is the most exciting thing I've ever seen, that he actually jumped off and did it. Usually I'm the one scurrying about trying to get that stuff to happen. Let's see if he's back here now. So go on, sir. Hey, thank you, Anthony. That was a beautiful job that you just did there. Anthony?
No, good. Keep going. That was behind the scenes. That wasn't supposed to be talked about.
Sorry, can't help it. You know, you're walking right back and forth behind me. So, Marcio, please continue, sir.
Yeah. So to finish that thought process. So at the end of the day, there's only a couple of outlets that we have to bring online. That would be our phenomenal spa and a food and beverage outlet that we have on the casino floor that we're finalizing some renovation. So we're ready. We're open for business. We waited a long time. We counted the days, the hours, and here we are.
Well, what I love about it is right behind me is the pool deck, and then right to the side are suites with I think they have their own little pool right next to the big pool.
Yep.
And it's enclosed. You have like shrubbery there, so you really can't see anyone. And it's perfect. And I was just telling Glenn off camera, of all the hotels I've seen with indoor pools, this is one of the nicest ones I've seen because it feels comfortable. I don't like indoor pools in hotels, perfectly honest with you. But this one made me feel like I would come here just to hang out at the indoor pool. And I'm definitely going to be coming back just because of the pool and that suite right next to the pool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. There's actually 2 pools over there, right, Marcio?
That's correct. So we have the VIP pool that's close here to the Butterfly Beach Bar.
That's where we are right now.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it gives us access to the casino floor, to the premium gaming rooms. And we have the hotel pool, which is the pool that's further out, also has access to a very large terrace. And during the warmer days, spring and summer, we invite folks to practice yoga out there.
Cool.
And both pools have cabanas, and they all are linked to the Crystal Life Spa. And going back to the premium suites that you see around the pool, they all have plunge pools. They are anywhere between 14 and 2,400 square feet.
Wow.
We have about our villas are 7 of them, between 2 and 3 bedroom suites, 2-floor villas. And the garden suites, we have 8 of those, and they have massive terraces. It's almost like you have much bigger than most backyards in New York City.
All right, we're going to be taking a look at those in just a second. But first, we got, of course, producer Dave on the go. Dave is at the epicenter right here. Let's bring that up and give it a good solo shot for a second so we can see what's going on over here. That is the event center that we have. And I love it, Marcio, because it's not empty. You've actually been having a couple events in there, some giveaways and stuff like that, right?
That is correct. So that event center is close to about almost 40,000 square feet. We can divide the event center into 9 different areas, so you can host, 100 folks and have it something very intimate, all the way up to about 2,500 people for concerts, MMA fighting, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you've had acts like Seinfeld here and all the top people. Lauryn Hill, right?
Correct.
Did she book the place and actually show up, or did she just say she was going to play here?
She showed up.
Okay. Sometimes that's a little bit of a problem for her. Anthony, what do you think about this?
I think it's great. And I think one of the things I want people to understand is because a lot of people don't know where the Catskills is. So can you explain how far we are from New York City, how far we are from Kennedy Airport? And if you're having a convention, this is a perfect place to have it because you really feel, first of all, it's the most beautiful mountains you'll find in the country. I mean, I would compare them to almost any place in the country, and they've been on the top 10 list for years. So this is a beautiful place to be. So how far are you from the city? I know how far you are, but tell people, because some people are like, oh, I'm not going up there. It's too far.
And I think it's only 20 minutes from Stewart Airport, right?
That is correct. So, we're 86 miles from the city, give and take 1 or 2, right? If you're on the west side, east side.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can really easily get here within an hour and a half. Once you get into the resort area, there's a beautiful winding road that takes you into the property. And it really, works as a setup where you start to decompress, right? You leave the stress behind and you come here and you really can sit back, relax, and enjoy our food and beverage outlets, the hotel products, the spa, and everything that you're going to be seeing here shortly. And of course, the excitement of the casino floor.
Right. Absolutely. All right. I think we got a good look at that. Dave's going to move on to the next area. I really love that you've got such great internet access that it's making it so easy for us to be able to bring views from all over your hotel today. So thank you for that.
So, and another thing people understand, you have skiing up here, you have a lot of outdoor activity up here. This is a destination.
That's
It's not a casino with some restaurants. I mean, this used to be the Concord. This is where everybody came, and every celebrity in the world played the Concord back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. This was really the place to be. And when it closed and it fell on hard times, it was really devastating. People didn't think the Catskills would ever come back after that, because the Catskills and the Concord were like, the Empire State Building in New York City.
Correct. And, we're very fortunate to be on the forefront of things up here and be given the opportunity to operate this the casino and to put all of these amenities together, sort of mimicking the old times and sort of bringing back that old nostalgia that we had, but of course with all of the elegant touches of what we can do today.
Yep. Let's take a look at the food hall area where I got my coffee this morning, as a matter of fact. So that was really good. And I like what you're doing over here with the big screen so people could really see what those menus are while waiting online for it. And you've got a lot of great safety measures put in place as well for here with the 6 foot apart and stuff like that. Look at them cleaning. Who could have asked for, who could have expected something that cool right there? There was a lot of people here over the last couple of nights enjoying some food. Right now, you're serving up until 10 p.m., which is restrictions put in place by the Governor Cuomo here in New York City. So everything has to close down at 10 p.m. But otherwise, they're usually open much later than that. And I like that you have, Marcio, the open windows, for example.
Yeah, the idea of the design of the casino is exactly to show what Anthony had just mentioned, right? Some of the most beautiful landscape you can find.
Yep.
And from the second floor up, you start to see the rolling hills of the Catskills. Come winter or summer, whether the greenery is going to take you back and really make you relax and feel, more and more attracted to the area. And, on snowy days, it just makes it so much prettier. And from a height of 6th, 7th, 8th floor, you start to really see the mountains,
right.
Far in the distance. And it's really...
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm on floor 17, which everybody should know is actually floor 15 because there's no 13 for us superstitious Americans and no 4 for superstitious Asians. That's right. Right? So that's pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at what's going on over here. Anthony, this is the casino area coming up right over here. Let's bring that up. Beautiful. There it is. Dave's going to walk us past the casino over to the Empire Bar, and then we're going to get a chance to see some of the suites and stuff like that. Monday morning, I'll tell you, it's pretty decent that people are flooding in already.
Sure, absolutely. We have enjoyed a great amount of loyalty from the local communities and folks that travel as far as 2 to 3 hours away. Even during the pandemic times, we've been able to enjoy occupancies in the hotel in excess of 30-40% weekday. And all the way up to about 60-70%.
All right, that's cool. What we were just looking at is there's a temperature check, of course, to come in. And I got to admit, Marcio, I accidentally forgot to put on my mask. I was walking in; they were very polite, reminded me, and I felt super guilty. In fact, so super guilty, I'm still confessing to it right now. Right? Yeah. All right. Front desk check-in area. Excellent.
Correct.
Yep. Excellent. And there's the Empire Bar. Awesome. All right, Dave, head on over to a suite. We're going to take you out and continue the conversation as soon as we get a good look at the bar with the casino floor behind it.
And one of the things you see in going through the casino and going through coming into the hotel is you feel safe, but it's not intrusive. Like I said, the safest place to me is a poker table because you're surrounded by glass or a blackjack table. Everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone's sanitized. Everybody's temperature's taken. I can't imagine a safer place, honestly. And I'm not saying that because I enjoy a good poker game, but it really is. And everybody's diligent. Everybody's cleaning. You see, you must have really upped your cleaning facilities program, because I've seen cleaning since the second I got here.
Yeah, so during the shutdown process, we were given 6 months, not only to learn the new landscape, but also to be able to develop the protocols that would make every one of our guests safe, cared for, and it has worked. The plexiglass separations between the machines do give everyone that's gambling, the sense of security that you just talked about. And, the protocols go on as far as, guidelines that are followed every shift on every hour and as needed. And we're proud to say that we created, operating procedures that were copied by many other operations, many of our
right. And now
colleagues.
food and beverage workers and frontline workers, they can get the vaccine. So what's going on with the vaccine up here?
So we are, of course, waiting for mandates to go ahead and start the vaccination of the overall population in the area. As we know it, we're willing and ready and able to partner and move this thing forward to assist in any possible way.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the saddest things, I was up here maybe, I don't know, 5 months ago, and I was dropping my daughter off somewhere up here in the Catskills, and I had some time, and I drove through your parking lot, and it was empty, and there was nothing going on up here at the resort, and it was so sad. It was so sad to see this vibrant, beautiful, billion-dollar, entertainment facility just closed. It was really, it's one of the moments I'll remember from the pandemic. Because here we are, you've put all this money, all this time, all this effort. And listen, in New York City, there's a lot of regulations. There's a lot of red tape just to open a casino, let alone keep a casino open during the pandemic. And it just, all that effort, and then it was just literally flatlined.
No, absolutely. There were some sad times. And, we had a pulsating heart on the face of the building, if you will, just expecting and waiting for the day to reopen to our customers.
Yeah. And what is your background? I'm just curious, like, you come from casinos or first class hotels? What's your background? And where'd you grow up? Did you grow up in New York?
So I was born and raised in South America, Brazil.
Cool.
And I came to New York City to study dentistry and got a job at a hotel then, Regency Hotel Park Avenue, and quit the dentistry school and somehow got involved into this beautiful business of hospitality. And over the course of years, I spent time in resorts, casinos, hotels, hotels in the city, hotels outside of the city, outside of the country. And it has been a delight. It's a beautiful career, and it's something that, I invite everybody to pursue.
Well, so if you worked at that hotel, do you know names like Chris Knable, Gary
Sure.
Strand?
Absolutely.
You know all those people, right?
Sure.
Great people.
Sure.
Great people.
Well, speaking of great things, let's take a closer look at this pool area right now. How awesome is this? And I like that you're giving us a private tour here. No pesky people around today, so we could actually show you all of this without destroying anybody's privacy.
And I got to tell you, David, keep walking, because it's not really doing it justice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a beautiful area, and that shot is just not doing how beautiful it really is. Show them where the cabanas are and the private suites are, things like that, because it's, I think you're having some.
Yeah, there's some cabanas over there.
Yeah, but it's really, it's not resonating. I mean, it's right behind me, and it's not resonating of how really gorgeous it is.
That's always the problem with doing things with video as opposed to seeing it. It always seems to be a little less exciting than it is in real life. But how cool is this to be able to go straight from your room right to the pool area?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm coming back just so I can hang out at the pool.
Right.
And, yeah, absolutely.
So, Marcio, where did ideas like for this to come from to build this whole pool complex on the 3rd floor?
So, weather does help us here, and it's some of the best, climate you can experience. But at the end of the day, we needed to create an indoor space that was large enough,
right,
welcoming enough. And bingo came the idea of us setting up this atrium right behind the hotel tower. It's kept at a very warm 82 degrees all year long. The pools are warm temperature as well. The water comes in. It's just a very pleasant place to be. and that's a plunge pool from one of our villas.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So Dave, let's take a look at that villa. Now, Marcio, the villas all have different themes to it. This is a wine themed one. There's also a pool themed one, right? And some others.
Wait, that villa is a room? That's a regular room?
This is a hotel room, yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for putting me up there next time I come.
You bet.
I'm not shy.
No, you're not. I would just hint around and hope that someone offers it to me. I like the ask.
You know, you get 0 things you don't ask for.
I know. I should have asked for some of those bottles of wine because I took a close look at them earlier today, and boy, those are high quality wines. There's also a second floor. Dave's internet seems to have frozen for a sec, so I'll just he's back. Whoop. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, keep him on a 4 shot. I think you should keep it on a 4 shot.
Keep it on 4 shot. All right.
Yeah, I think it's better that way.
All right, that's cool.
But he's going up the stairs. This is riveting television.
I know, right? So,
but look, this rivals any suite I've seen in Vegas. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, there's something more impressive, Anthony, when you have the multi-level suites. Marcio, what was the thought process behind building bi-level suites? Because I really think it really ups your game in terms of being able to offer a high quality
so
product.
They can have more casino space. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I think at the end of the day, the thought process is we want to mimic something that you would have, right? If you were, whether traveling from domestic markets or international markets, right? This is the idea, is that you check into a luxurious product, something that rivals anything you would see anywhere in the world. And at the end of the day, give you the comfort to hold a meeting downstairs if you need to, and have the rest of your family stay upstairs if that's the case.
Right. There's producer Dave making a sneak appearance. Also, behind Dave is a awesome balcony. A little snowy right now, but you could go out there and hang out and sit. It must be really nice during the spring, summer, and fall.
Oh wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I heard you see some bears back there.
Correct. So deer, bears. Pretty much about it. They are just friendly bears.
They're friendly bears. Well, most bears are, as long as you don't go try to take their food.
That's or the kids.
Right.
The cubs.
So what's going on in Resorts World right now? I mean, there's so much going on. You guys got so many projects going on. What's going on?
So, we're waiting for additional mandates so we can go back and, operate at longer hours, longer occupancy, but everything in due time. We are finalizing construction, the open concept of one of our food and beverage outlets on the casino floor, bringing back the spa in due time as well. We have a beautiful property attached to the resort here, which is the Alder Hotel, 101 rooms. It's a lifestyle boutique, sort of industrial chic look. It has this phenomenal Mexican cantina, if you will, a collection of tequilas that envies anything north of the Yucatan Peninsula.
And when's that opening?
With additional push from business,
right?
We're looking to reopen that on the weekends.
And you are already opening the Lotus Chinese restaurant coming this Friday, so that's a good signal.
Correct. Yes.
Absolutely. I didn't even know that there was that hotel. I had no idea. When did you open that hotel? Were you opened in conjunction with the resort? So
that hotel was opened a little over a year after we opened the hotel tower and the casino and everything that you see.
And what's the name of it?
It's the Alder, which is named after a
type of wood
tree. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually I smoke ribs with alderwood sometimes, so I could show off how I knew that was a tree.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm very proud of myself.
You're the smartest person I know. You know that?
I know. I'm smart enough to know that you're lying to me, but that's okay.
I thank God when I do my prayers. I thank God every day. I was like, wow, that I get to learn from Glenn every day is amazing.
Well, let's do a little learning right now. For those of you who don't know, Resorts World is operated by the Genting Group. They're a major casino company that you may not have heard of because they haven't been in the United States all that long. But they're established. They're out of Malaysia, and they've been established all over the world for a lot of years. About 8 years ago, you probably opened up the Resorts World at Aqueduct Racetrack, give or take a year.
Yep, a little longer than that, almost 10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years now. All right, so that was a great project. And this one opened 4 years or so.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And then you've also just this week got big news that you can open up a VLT slot parlor in an old mall in a big Bonton's department store that no longer exists. And I really love the idea that you're going to be able to repurpose some of this incredible real estate for something that's actually on consumer trends right now, as opposed to the big box stores and retail, which has had a lot of trouble lately.
Correct. And I wanted to bring up that today is actually our 3rd anniversary for the property.
No!
Just looked at the date and realized, yes.
Oh, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to have Vegas coming, but let's go real quick and take a look at the spa now.
And that will be reopening hopefully next month.
We're looking to bring that amenity back as soon as possible, Anthony. It's a beautiful spa. We took it out of our Crystal cruise line, exactly as you see it on the ship, and we brought it here, put it in the Catskills, 8 treatment rooms, all of them overlooking the landscape. We're looking out at the salon.
And you're running that here locally, like internally, or you have an outside company?
We partnered with the WTS, who is a major operator of spas and casinos and high-end luxury hotels.
Awesome. That's really interesting. Looks really beautiful. So when you're thinking about the reopening, what is the status right now with what's going on with government? I got to be honest with you. I was really frustrated. It seems like forcing you to close at 10 p.m. seems really arbitrary, in particular on a Saturday night when you're filled up to whatever capacity you're allowed to have here at 9:45. For them to tell you you're no longer allowed to make any money and keep people employed is very frustrating to me in the hospitality industry.
And personally, it makes no sense.
Right. Because, it's the same thing where you have to operate your room key only after 11 p.m., right? Because, COVID doesn't affect anybody until 10:01 p.m. Then you got to run away, right? So I don't understand it. If you're open, you're open. And as long as people are following the rules, you should be able to operate as a business. I'm feeling like some of these rules are a little bit pernicious and they're really preventing you from making money. Now, I can't expect you to comment on it because you've got to play the politics game, but I don't. So I'm going to say that these rules need to be lifted. You need to be making money. When you have the Super Bowl last night and after 10 p.m. and people can't even stick around to watch the end of the game and have a couple of drinks, that's really, really frustrating. All right, back to the spa. Anthony, what do you think of this space?
I think the room is beautiful, and I think I just wish it was open so I can go get a massage. I need a massage. I think there should be, the government should give every single person in America a free massage for as soon as we come out of COVID, right? Because everybody just needs a massage.
Yeah, Marcio, what would that do to your bottom line? 360 million free massages.
It works.
That will work. Right. And I was saying before, and the government should then also mandate a diet, because I was putting on my suit this morning. I was like, man, I hope this fits. Right. That's beautiful. So let's take David out till he finds another location.
Yeah, and he's going to go check out. The
so what's going on? Can you speak to what's happening in Vegas with resorts, or is that not kind of
just a little bit? I think you can.
Yeah, we are. We are operated separately from the Vegas side and the eastern side of Genting, as you had mentioned.
But that's opening soon, right?
Yes. So they're looking for a June or July opening. It's a massive resort for 400,000 rooms, if I'm not mistaken, and will carry brands like Hilton and Conrad, as well as Crockford's.
And we're available for opening day, believe it or not.
Yes, and we're already working on that, Anthony. You don't need to shamelessly ask now, because I already did that. We got a question coming up in 1 second, but I did want to let everybody know that project has been coming around for a long time, and great deal for Genting to purchase a partially built structure that was originally going to be Project Echelon by Boyd Gaming back before the Great Recession hit in 2008, 2009. So they had already started construction on that project. We're probably 10 to 15 floors done on the superstructure, and then everything stopped for like 10 years until your company came in and started rebuilding it. And now it's nearly done from the outside.
Has there ever been a project in Vegas that the people that bought the land and had the vision to operate a hotel actually wound up to open the hotel? It seems like every project has 4 or 5 different, fits and starts.
Well, at least in the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think even longer than that. But yeah, it seems like everybody has a different, has a very long history. It takes 20 years to get the doors open.
Yeah. All right. We got a question from Howard Smith. I know the answer to this one.
I know Howard Smith. I love Howard Smith.
Yeah. The famous Monster Golf Course, part of the property. Yes, it is. I believe you're reopening that soon, Marcio, right? You're redoing that?
That is correct. So, the plans are to bring it back next year. So it's a beautiful course. And it's a beautiful landscape, and everybody's going to be amazed by how we're going to put it together and recreate and create all the amenities that come with it as well.
That's really cool. And you need that. Another major casino company out of a neighboring state did that probably 10, 15 years ago. They bought themselves a golf course. It worked out really, really well for them. Added just another amenity to the whole luxury experience. Marcio, there's also, not affiliated with you, but right next door, temporarily closed, hotel with an indoor water park and stuff like that. That's one of those things that I think brings people to your area so they'll come and enjoy some of your amenities and maybe play some games, right?
Sure. So the Cartwright is a beautiful property, operates a water park indoor, like you mentioned, 24/7, right? 365 days out of the year. A beautiful hotel with 303 rooms, including suites, great views of the landscape, and a lot of activities for the kids and adults as well.
And where's this?
And this is about 3/4 of a mile from us.
Yeah.
It's here?
Yeah, correct.
I've never heard of it.
Yep.
It's called the Cartwright?
That's right in our backyard.
Wow, I really got to get with the program.
Yeah, I understand that the Camelback people originally owned it.
Okay, and you know what I love about that? I love the fact that you help advertise them on this show, because if they fill up, you fill up. It's good for if they're filled up, people are looking for the casino. So
right.
It's good for everyone.
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges is you don't have that cluster effect. You don't have a lot of casino resorts to build people. So I think you do need to have some of those other amenities to attract the types of people, Marcio, that don't want to gamble 24/7. Not that they're allowed to now, but during non-COVID times.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the things that you learn is that aside from Cartwright ourselves, there's so much to do here in the Catskills and so much to see. The area is really popping up as, sort of the New Hamptons. And it's not unusual for us to see some traffic coming in even on, off season.
Yeah, people, and because of COVID, people went from saying, I'm going to go up to my country house to I'm going to stay in my country house and make it my permanent residence.
Correct.
And I imagine you've seen a lot of that.
Sure. Even I believe that the real estate market even got an additional push here from everything that was happening in the city.
Right.
Sure, absolutely.
So while the resort is working on limited operating hours, not the hotel, but the other aspect of it, because of state regulations, let's pretend for a minute we're back to normal, right? You're operating 24/7. You've got your 24/7 bistro, which is actually open 24/7 in that particular case. What is the vibe here? What is the tenor here? What are the type of people that are typically coming here, and what are they looking for? And how does that differ from maybe other casino resort experiences they may get around the country or world?
No, absolutely. I think everyone is coming for the excitement of the game, and be able to experience the poker room and be able to experience the casino floor and the variety of slots offers that we have. Culinary is unbelievable with Cilio and all of our other restaurants, including Lotus as well. And the synergy between our smaller hotel coming back and forth. We have Top Golf in the lobby area of that property. So there is a lot for people to do, and that's what they look to do. But most and foremost, enjoying the spa, of course, but most is the fresh air, the views of the Catskills, the ability to, very close to New York City, to be able to take a ride, an enjoyable ride once you pass the bridge. And you are in sort of another completely different place, like Anthony had mentioned, second to none in the United States. So, and I think that folks more than ever now are looking for that scape.
And pre-COVID, did you have a lot of international guests?
Sure. So one of the good things is that Stewart takes on international flights.
Wow.
And, we develop transportation from JFK, from and to JFK. And once you're here on property, you're not too far also from the shopping of Woodbury Commons. Right. So that's an attractive area for a lot of international clientele. And it's just a hop away, and you're here staying at the resort, spending the night, and opening up your shopping bag.
And do you get international people that maybe hop out to Vegas, hop out to Atlantic City, then hop here, and maybe they're just kind of on a tour and they're going from casino town to casino town?
Sure. It's not unusual for your loyal guests to be guests that are playing in multiple markets, including internationally. So we welcome all of them, and it's there is a good base of international traveler coming here as well.
And just put in perspective for the people that don't know the gambling business, that if you have a whale, as they say, a person that really gambles a lot, 1 or 2 or 3 of those people can literally make the resort profitable for the entire year. I just had someone tell me, I won't tell you who, a friend of mine out in Vegas said 4 guests made the entire resort successful for that month because of, unfortunately, some losses. So it's fascinating.
Or fortunately, depending on what side you're on the table, right?
It's fascinating though, that like we come in, we gamble our couple $100, but you have these people come in and they spend $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, $20 million. And a lot of times that's what's keeping some of these resorts afloat.
All right. So before we go to the presidential suite, which you're going to look at in 1 second, for those of you out there wondering, what is Woodbury Commons? Well, it's a giant outlet mall with over 250 plus stores. It's been around since before outlet malls were really the big thing all the way around the country. So it's super popular. And in New York City, a lot of people will come in as tourists and then do day trips up to Woodbury Commons with bus tours and stuff like that, because it's just that big of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at the presidential suite. This is exciting. Now, this shows me that you guys are competing on a global basis for the whales all over the place. All right. So, Marcio, maybe you could announce what we're seeing here. Look at that view. First of all, how incredible is that?
So that's the first view you see from, the entry foyer. There's no remote control. The view, it is what it is. So,
So that's not fake, huh?
It's
That's
not
real.
fake.
That's not a TV screen.
no. So you're walking into the main guest bedroom there.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about the penthouses is that they cover about 1/8 of the floor, and it offers you the view from the corner of the building, so you can see 270 degrees around.
Wow.
And just a note, David, show the TV.
I was just going to say that,
when
right?
you have a beautiful view from the bed, you want to wake up, you don't want to see a TV screen. So that goes into the furniture, and then you have that beautiful view without the obstruction of the TV. And those are the little touch points that real hoteliers understand and designers understand, because it would be terrible to obstruct that view with a television. So I love that.
And I must admit, I'm somebody who doesn't really watch TV anymore in guest rooms. I either bring my own stuff or I'm just like the amenities of the room. So that's really convenient to have. Look at that beautiful bathroom. Look at that sexy producer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love this shower.
Yeah, you can bring your friends.
I know, right? Look at that. I mean, hey, party in the presidential suite shower. That's for sure. Hey, Dave, go back to that 1 more second, please, if you can hear us. Awesome. Yeah, take a look at the rain shower heads on top. It's not just a single rain shower head, but it's like multiple ones. Right. And then in addition to that, look at that. Look how huge that is. Right. And then on the wall, you've got all of the sprayers. So you could really get full body massage.
So you can really have a party.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that.
I was actually in a hotel one day with, we were showing on one of our shows, and it had 12 shower heads. I was like, wow, that's really a party. What a beautiful room. And how many square feet is the room?
This is 1,800 square feet.
Ooh, 1,800 square feet. Wow.
Wow, look at this.
That's absolutely gorgeous. And again, look at the views. It's all about the views.
It really is.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's absolutely stunning.
So, Marcio, you mentioned earlier about people are thinking about this instead of the Hamptons. I could totally see why. If I'm living in New York City, I was inculcated as a 20-something to the whole idea that you have to go out to the Hamptons, you have to go out to Montauk, but so far from New York City, particularly on a Friday when you're trying to get out there. If you're going out to Montauk, there's only like a 1-lane road that goes all the way out there.
It's like trying to get to Key West
right,
on a weekend.
Right. So it could take 3-4 hours to get out here. 79 miles, depending on where you are, specifically in the city. It's an hour and a half. That's much, much simpler. Plus, there's a lot more space. It feels a little more calm. You might not have the beach, but you got so many other great amenities, such as great lakes and stuff like that. Now, look at this. Fire in the room, but it's not dangerous. Dave's putting his hand right in it.
Can you walk on the fire, Dave? I want to see how brave you are. But, and when you have a destination like this, it's so critically important. Like this pool behind me with the cabanas and with the suites right off the pool, it's really critical because I may not make the 2-hour trip up to the casino because my family's not really into casinos. But if I show them this pool and I say, hey, we got this pool, we're close to skiing, we're close to a lot of things, then it's all encompassing. So you need more than just the casino, especially nowadays where casino revenue is not really what's keeping a lot of these casinos in business.
Right.
It's the entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. Marcio, you were able to, I guess you got a higher percent split between what's on the casino floor than in a place like Las Vegas, which is down to as little as 40% right now. But speaking about this room specifically, friend of the show, Daniel asked, how often does that room get rented? And is it even in the general rental pool, or is it just a giveaway to folks that have earned it?
It's the second option, definitely.
Yeah.
It's not unusual for us to rent some of our premium inventory. And those suites, they have mostly an occupancy on weekends at 100%.
Right.
Well, those are 100% full on the weekends.
Correct.
Even now.
Correct.
Which makes a whole lot of
Oh,
sense.
so when I come and you hook me up, I shouldn't come on the weekends.
Come on a
what you're
Tuesday.
telling me.
I'm going to have to kick somebody else.
Yeah, right. Well, don't worry. And I'm sure.
Yeah, kick the guy out that drops $1 million at the crap table.
Oh
Kick
yeah,
him
he's
out.
showing us that specifically. Dave told me about that before. You
What is
connect
that?
via Bluetooth or whatever to get your system to interact with their system, so you can have your iPad or whatever work with the room, so you could listen to music throughout the whole room and all those speakers in the ceiling.
Full casting abilities as well. So
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Thank
right
you,
there.
David.
Yeah.
Go find another cool space.
All right. So, yeah, that's interesting when you talk about giving those rooms away, because the fact is you don't want to rent it to somebody, because God forbid it's Friday, you rent that to somebody and then a whale shows up and says, I want my room, or, blah, blah, blah. That could be, it's one of those penny wise, pound foolish moves, right, Marcio?
yeah, at the end of the day, it's so important that we keep our loyal customers happy, right? And
Mhm.
continue to create the loyalty and the care that we, been known for. So the availability of rooms for our high-end players is important.
Yeah, and one of the things people don't realize in this business, the loyalty, people throw loyalty around like it's going out, like it's nothing. Loyalty in this business, in casino business, in the resort business, is the business. Because if you lose 50,000 or you lose 20,000 or you lose $1 million, you're not going to come back to a place that you don't feel that they're here for the good times and the bad times, and they treat me like family. They really take care of me. They're not just, because if people feel like you're just there to spend money at the casino, you lose that. And people understand that. People feel that. Listen, we all understand that people, if you're coming to a casino, the hosts are there and the VPs are there to ensure you keep coming back so you can continue to play in their casinos. But if they feel that, that's when you lose your client. When that night they lose, if they feel that they're just here to be your whale, you're done. It's got to be a real loyalty. It's got to really kind of go all the way back to where they come from, where you maybe even go have dinner with them in their country, or like it's a real relationship. People don't understand the loyalty and the work that goes into creating that loyalty, because there are so many new kids on the block trying to get that guest from you. Talk a little bit about that.
So it's definitely on the relationship, and it's learning the customer. It's not only learning the customer, but it comes down to understanding and being proactive on what the customer's needs are, and also understanding and being proactive on what the competitive set can present to your loyal guests. But it's at the end of the day, it comes down to spending the time learning the customer and developing the relationship. It's like welcoming your friend to your property.
And it really got to feel like their place. It's got to feel like their property.
Your home, their home.
Right. And that's why it's so comfy. So what about meetings and events? Are there any patio spaces off the convention meeting rooms to incorporate outdoor events? Or maybe you're thinking about it in a totally different sort of way, but I have a feeling you're thinking about outdoor stuff more than ever.
Sure. So we do have spaces that surround the casino property, the overall property. We have spaces there indoor in the form of sky boxes overlooking the epicenter, the large space that you saw. We have spaces also at our hotel next door, the Alder, which are also indoor-outdoor spaces. So within all of the spaces and private meeting rooms and private dining areas, you're looking at an overall 60,000 square feet, if give and take another 10,000.
Wow, that's a whole lot over there. So what is going on with meeting events right now in terms of the interest to rebook or book for the first time in the next year or so?
We have seen a tremendous push on the wedding market, and for the most part, those are coming in third and fourth quarter of this year. We are welcoming and hosting groups, within the guidelines that were mandated to us. Social distancing is in place in each and every one of our areas, and in the service aspect of these areas as well. There's a lot of synergy with our sister property in Queens and the hotel that we are putting together there, so that we can offer the variety of to the different markets, a corporate meeting, a retreat, so that we can cover all.
Oh, that's clever.
That's
So,
great,
of
yeah.
course, you're referring to the 400-room hotel opening in May of this year at Resorts World, New York City, which is at the Aqueduct Racetrack just across from JFK. Really interesting. Tell us a little bit more about that. And I also want to say that I remember a couple of years ago that there's whole talk about building a new convention center over there and for building additional hotels over there, really giving New York City the convention center it actually deserves as opposed to the one we've gotten. I know you can't really speak to that because, again, political machinations behind the scenes, but I think that's exciting to look forward to. You've got the new hotel opening in May. What can people expect when that opens its doors in just a couple of months?
A phenomenal property, and it's 400 rooms altogether. 36 of those rooms will be premium accommodations, much like what you see here in the Catskills in terms of size and amenities and appointments. The rooms are 360 square feet plus. Unusual for the New York market, if you will.
Very unusual.
Yeah, and proximity to JFK LaGuardia Airport, and within the mecca that is our casino operation in Queens. So with that, we're going to be bringing forward 2 new food and beverage outlets. There's going to be a grab and go operation in the lobby of the hotel as well, and we're looking at close to about 9,000 square footage of meeting space.
Wow, that's great because you definitely need something like that in order to drive it. I love what you're saying about having people do corporate retreats and incorporating both properties and giving them different options. I particularly just love that I can get a Popeyes over at the Resorts World in New York City because I'm a big fan.
You know what I like about that is a lot of times there's business done. I know I've been to a lot of business meetings where I don't really need to leave the airport. It's like I just need all these people to come together,
right?
And then I need to go. I don't need to take a 2-hour drive to New York, spend 3 days in New York. When there's a lot of times where I want to get there early in the morning. I want to get home. So if there's a hotel right at the airport that has all these amenities, if my people want to stay and they want to go up to the Catskills, and that's fine. But if I want to get back, take a shuttle to the hotel, you do your business, and you go home.
No, absolutely. And that's the key here. I think not only will we be able to bring forward more of that international market that we're looking to grab into our database, if you will, but also, your corporate folks there don't want to even go to the city and just drive from Long Island and make a pit stop and, be serviced the same way you would at any other property.
Because a lot of these corporate people, we've seen New York, we know Vegas, we know all these cities. When we want to go, we'll go. But we just have to have a meeting with people coming from 4 or 5 different countries because we're building a project and we need the architect, we need the designer, and we need to spend maybe 2 or 3 days. We can spend 2 or 3 days there. We can have the casino, we have the restaurant, we jump on a plane, and we go home.
Right.
And we don't lose time commuting because everybody knows trying to get into the city sometimes from JFK can take you a week and a half.
Yeah.
And I'll also add to that it's a great way to retain the people from your group to actually stay at the meeting. When you are in New York City proper, in Manhattan, people just want to go explore the city, but it's such a hassle factor to get to Manhattan. I mean, you can simply do it by grabbing the A train and just taking the subway in for $2.75 or whatever it is, but it's more of an effort.
Just so you know, you can get to Washington, D.C. quicker than you can get to Manhattan on the A train from JFK, FYI.
I am laughing because it's true. All right. So, Anthony, I don't want you to feel too bad, but last night I had the opportunity to eat at Cilio, a restaurant by Scott Conan. For those of you who don't know, Scott Conan had a couple of restaurants in Vegas, one particular, the Cosmopolitan, an Italian-focused one that I liked a lot. This is a steakhouse concept. I know that you have a partnership with him over here. I enjoyed a great dry-aged ribeye last night, Marcio.
I'm glad to hear. Cilio is a phenomenal concept, second to none. And it's such a great pleasure to be able to come up to the Catskills and see not only the cuisine of Scott Conan, but also taste and experience, the entire vibe of the place.
Right, and you feel like you don't feel like you're in the Catskills because there's not too many places like this in the Catskills.
No, there really isn't. And again, take a look at all the different separations over there at the bar so people can feel and enjoy themselves.
It's a little upgrade from the Concord food and beverage as well.
Oh, God. As somebody who's eaten the food and beverage at the Concord, no disrespect, but it was horrific. It was, old school cafeteria style buffet type food. But the good news is you can eat as much as you want. They keep throwing plates down in front of you if you wanted it. It was all like family dining, like whoever group you went to, you'd sit like able to 8, 10, 12 or whatever it was. And it was all kosher as well.
And again, you see the way they're separating the tables. They're putting the glass in between. I love those banquettes. I'm a banquet person. It looks safe. And I mean, were you there last night? I mean, did you feel good?
Absolutely. Producer Dave and I sat kind of removed from somebody else at one of those rounded banquet tables.
Right, I saw that.
And there was definitely space between our table and other people within the restaurant. And I was delighted to see. We were eating there at 5 p.m. because we wanted to catch the game last night that started at 6:30. There was a lot of people there. It looked like you probably have a limit, Marcio, for the amount of tables you could actually use right now. So the ones that you were using, I believe that was our table, right? With a little sanitized sign on it. So Dave and I were able to sit in other opposite ends of the table and feel like we were together, but still able to do some social distancing.
You didn't use his proper name this time. His birth certificate says Producer Dave.
I still have a little trouble saying Mignano, so I don't want to screw it up. So I'll just stick with Producer Dave. All right.
What a beautiful space.
Yeah. It is. All right, Dave, take us over to Lotus. We'll take a look at the Chinese restaurant next.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, everybody, this is in the Catskills. This is first class. This is in Vegas. This is in Atlantic City. This is in the Catskills. So, it's not only important to really understand this beautiful resort, but I really want people to fall in love with this environment, the Catskills, what it has to offer. Because for too many years, people that live in the tri-state area have not taken advantage of this incredible location. It is one of the most incredible destinations in our country. It's the most I've seen views when I'm coming up here in the summer or even in the winter that have taken my breath away, that I have to stop the car and get out. And some of the most beautiful views in this country are in the Catskills. So a destination like this really gets people to really appreciate upstate New York.
Yeah, we're at a height of 1,400 feet, right? So from here, the sunsets are gorgeous. I think we saw the artwork from one of our suites there, which is inspired by the colors of the sunset. Mm-hmm. It's a multitude of lakes, fishing, ice fishing this time of the year, right? Skiing.
Cool. And just people that don't know New York, if you're from New York, like if somebody says, hey, where are you from? I'm from New York. And someone said, where are you from? Well, I'm from New York too. Well, where? Monticello, the Catskills. Okay. You're just as country as somebody that lives in Tennessee or Texas. Like that, like to me, you're a New Yorker, but you're a different type of New Yorker because you don't understand the fishing and the hunting. Like you said, the ice fishing, the skiing here, you could be in any state in the Midwest and really feel that vibe up here. And that's what I love about New York. You can get the glitz and glamour of New York City, but you can also get that real farm feeling and the hunting feeling and the skiing feeling. And it's just as real as anywhere else in the country. I love it. It's one of my favorite places to go in New York City or actually in the country.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think growing up here in New York, I didn't appreciate how gorgeous it was until I started going to other places around the country that were supposedly gorgeous, but they were all just flat and boring looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And just so you know, the inside joke is you have to, if you're from Monticello or you're from upstate, you have to say you're upstate. You can't say you're from New York.
Right. Yeah, I actually caught myself saying I'm from downstate yesterday. It was like the weirdest thing.
Somebody said to me, hey, your team is in the playoffs. I was like, my team, Jets and Giants are in the playoffs. They said, no, Buffalo Bills. I was like, Buffalo Bills. Falls.
That's not our state.
That's not Buffalo. Where is that?
That is true. I love this comment from Dave Wayne Menke. And Anthony's probably the only guy to pull off the headphone NFL sideline look.
I had no choice because I have my headphones upstairs, but I ran too late and I didn't want to go up and get it. But I was like, that's what I feel like. I got to ask a question. Getting to the Super Bowl for a second. What is that coach wearing from, I think, Kansas City that he's wearing? Not Andy Reid, the other guy. He's wearing all this equipment on him. What is that? Anybody know?
I totally don't know what you're talking about. I was too upset that we couldn't look at his mustache yesterday because that thing is fabulous.
Yeah, but so maybe somebody can explain to me what all that equipment he's wearing on because nobody else wears it. But anyway, so is this shameless plug time, my friend?
I think so. We're still waiting on our next guests to come up. The folks from Sullivan County. They should be here any second. But Marcio, tell us, give us a good shameless plug on how we could find you. Oh wait, I take that back. Let's take a look at Lotus, the Chinese restaurant, real quick. Reopening triumphantly on Friday. Looking forward to that.
Triumphantly, there's going to be a parade.
Yeah, look at that. They're even cleaning it right now. Well, I hope so. A parade of dumplings or something like that. I really want some Peking duck.
He's going to open it up for us tonight so we can taste it.
I wish. They probably haven't gotten their food order yet because it's probably all fresh food, but whatever.
I'm just putting subtle hints there, buddy.
I know.
Work with me, man. Work with me.
Marcio, could you hook us up some Peking duck for tonight, please? Is that good?
That's gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. And I just love that it's like the glass doesn't feel intrusive. It feels like almost it should stay there after it opens. It just feels it feels natural, and that's what I think is so important when you go out. You want to feel safe, but you also don't want to feel like you're walking into a hospital.
Yeah, it's really Marcio. It must have been a challenge for you to finding that right balance between making people feel comfortable but not uncomfortable at the same time, that they have to be reminded about what's going on constantly, because you want to create an atmosphere where they can forget their real lives, right?
I think it goes back to exactly, you feel cozy, right? At the same time, you're safe. And the idea, the thought process is that you wouldn't be, you would feel no obstruction between you and the person next to you. But at the same time, see through, at the same time, have all the safety that you need in these times. And Anthony touched a great point. It's almost like it should be there if you're looking to sit alone and you want to be, cozy and you want a partition. It is what it is.
Yeah, I've actually, when I see places like that, I feel like, okay, I can go out and feel comfortable, because who would sit in a room all the time? It's we're ready to get back to normal. Before I saw Glenn, of course, I had a mask on, and I put my arm around him, and he's like, "Oh wow,
yeah,
wow, what's that feel like? Somebody actually touched me."
I know. I've missed the feeling of human touch other than my family. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so and I think people are ready to get back to handshaking and ready to get back to eating together and getting. Listen, we have short memories, and I think once we get past this, I think we're all going to be ready to get back to it. And this is like a test run, It's like, okay. And people ask me all the time, so, "Oh, you've traveled?" I say, "Yeah, I've been to Vegas 4 times since the pandemic. I feel very safe. We've traveled a little bit during this time, and I can't imagine not traveled. That little bit that I have traveled has kept me sane."
Yeah, Marcio, are you getting to go anywhere?
To the city and back.
Yeah. I'm sure you've got that figured out pretty
Do you live up here?
I have a place here in the Catskills and one in Queens in the city as well. Easy to come in and out.
How do you split your time?
3 and 4. 3 days in the city, 4 days up here. But now with the opening of the hotel would be the other.
Just out of curiosity, where do you live in the city? Like,
I'm in Queens, Forest Hills, next to the bridge. So if you're coming from Queens, it's it's really an hour and a half, depending on who's driving. But it's a quick drive.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so before we let you go, I did have one thing I wanted to talk to you about, but I totally forgot what that is. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the other casino project that you're doing in the Bontons, right? The old department store. What is that going to be like when it opens? I think.
And where is that? How far is that from here?
Yeah.
Give people perspective.
It's very close to the airport area there, Stewart, and it's a good 35 minutes from the property here. It's going to be a great synergy for all of our properties, including New York City. This property up in Newburgh area, and here the Catskills. We can't wait for that to start.
Fantastic. All right. Marcio, how can we find you guys? Give us a good shameless plug for all of your Resorts World properties.
Look, at the end of the day, call the property, email me directly. If there is anything we can do for you out here, if there is anything that we can do as a property, if there are things that you're looking to do different than what you don't see online, we'll be more than happy to accommodate you and welcome you.
Excellent.
Thank you, my friend.
We really appreciate you being here. All right, so stick around, everybody, because in just a minute, as soon as we get them all settled, we're going to be talking about tourism in the Catskills and Sullivan County, which is where the Catskills are located. But before we do that, let me remind you guys, 2020 was really tough year for your income, right? And you're looking for some good news. Well, Bright Support can help you do this. And there's no fee unless your tax assessment is lower. That's right. They're going to help you lower your property taxes out there. It takes 5 minutes to start. Absolutely no risk. Applications are processed in the order received. So please do it real quick. Book your free consultation now at www.brightsport.net/hotels or call 833-411-2233. Of course, tell them No Vacancy News sent you. All right. If we could bring in our other guests, that would be great right now. I think Marcio is going to help us out and pull them in, and here they come right now. But while we're waiting for them to get settled, Anthony, how are you feeling being up here in upstate New York? I could smell the air. Is a big difference, huh?
Listen, after a good snow, I mean, if your allergies go, everything just feels clean, and you feel reborn. So I love it up here. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. Excuse me. I would put you guys on mute right now, but if I mute myself, I'm going to wind up muting everybody. So hold on.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. So while you're transitioning to our guest, transition me out for 1 second so I can actually get myself a chair.
Okay. This is going to go great because it'll just be me alone. So let's do that. I'll see you in a second. All right, everybody. So one of the things that I've been thinking about here, and I mentioned a little bit earlier, is these rules that Governor Cuomo put in place. And I understand on one aspect of it that we need to have rules in place in order to keep people safe. But the issue that I'm really having is they seem kind of arbitrary. They seem kind of whatever. And I really don't understand why that works. For example, you're not allowed to just serve drinks in the bar here. You have to have food. So it's forcing Resorts World here to go ahead and have food on hand that they otherwise wouldn't have, and nobody cares. So they have salads, they have cheese plates, just so people can order them so they could keep drinking. And not only that, but you have to have the plate that's in front of you, or else you're not allowed to drink. Last night when we were in the restaurant, the first thing you want to do when you get into a restaurant, right, Anthony, is you want to order yourself a cocktail. They wouldn't allow me to have a cocktail until we ordered an appetizer, because by having an appetizer, then you're allowed to get some food. It has to be in the system, whatever. I'm sitting in a restaurant. Presumably I'm going to be eating, Anthony. Why do they have to put up these stupid rules? Another thing that's going to really aggravate you is one of the restaurants is closed specifically because it's off the casino floor, and they don't allow a restaurant to be off the casino floor for some arbitrary reason.
There you go. There's your answer. Arbitrary reason. Listen, I'm all about safety. I'm all about what the government did in the beginning, but it's getting insane. I mean, it's arbitrary.
Yeah, it really is. Things that started off in the right place have now gone to the wrong place. But I'll tell you what's right. All is right in the world, because it looks like we have with us Meghan Taylor. Yes?
Yes.
Hey,
How are
Meghan.
you?
Meghan Taylor is VP of Government Affairs and Public Relations over here at Resorts World Casino. So great to see you. And being that you're involved with public relations, thanks so much for taking care of us.
Oh, no problem. We're so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And the person in charge of government relations is an important person. What is that like? Were you in government or were you in the hotel business? Like, how do you straddle those two experiences? Because it's difficult.
It is, well, it's fun. We always say it's a challenge, right? But I did my career before I came to Resorts World was in state government. So I had for a number of years worked for Empire State Development, the state's economic development agency, and I was in charge of really the economic revitalization and economic stability of the Hudson Valley region, which for me here now being at Resorts World Catskills, it's absolutely fantastic. And we're able to really deliver on the promises that we've made to the community. But as you were saying, government's extremely challenging at this time, and especially in a post-COVID environment, there's a lot of things that we're all dealing with. But, working together, I think we're going to be able to get through this pandemic, hopefully unscathed to a certain extent, and be able to really start welcoming folks back here.
Yeah, and it's great for the resort because who better than you to understand how to ensure that New York State you're following the rules, but also ensure that the resort gets whatever it needs to make the guests comfortable.
Exactly. And I will tell you that when I first started with Resorts World in May of 2020. So
Great timing.
It was a great timing. Great timing is a choice word. But we had worked diligently for a very long time on an extensive safety plan, a 21-point safety plan that we have implemented. And exactly to your point, we had to make sure that the product that we were providing to our guests was one that ensured their safety and the viability of our property here, but also our employees as well. Right. I mean, we have in the peak of us being open in pre-COVID, it was almost 1,400 employees here.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, and that's interesting because people don't get to see, like, you have the break rooms, housekeeping, like you have to work pretty close. You know, it's not a ship, but the back of the house isn't the front of the house. So there's pretty close quarters. That must have been a challenge.
It was, but I think that, we worked so closely with all of our team members here and honestly with our various state government partners to really put together a plan that made sure everybody was safe and made sure that we were still able to have our guests, enjoy some of our amenities. As you know, right, everything is not open on our property just yet because of the various safety and protocol measures that we have to have here. But we're looking forward to really becoming fully reopened very soon.
Awesome. And speaking about being open real soon, we've got with us joining the show right now, Miss Roberta Byron-Lockwood, President and CEO of Sullivan County Catskills. So great to meet you, Roberta.
Very nice to meet you as well.
This is exciting. You missed the beginning part of the show, but I came up to the Catskills in the 70s and 80s. So all the kosher resorts and stuff are up here. So I have a very special place in my heart for the Catskills. And it is so great after all these decades to see casino gaming finally here in this market.
Isn't it? It's such a beautiful area. I mean, there's nothing like the Sullivan Catskills. And this property is absolutely magnificent. Just magnificent.
And Roberta, have you been in this area for a very long time?
Believe it or not, I came here 20 years ago. I've always done New York State tourism.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the distinct, I want to say pleasure, as well as I've been fortunate where I've represented upstate New York for many, many years. I was one of the I Love New York deputies.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
And I've had the pleasure of serving the Sullivan Catskills and packaging it to the traveling public and watching this incredible change, this renaissance that's happened right before our eyes.
Yeah, because you were there in the very beginning when people said, gambling will kill the Catskills and we can't do that. Well, what has that been like to really see it go from, no one wanted it and everybody was like, no, you're going to ruin it, to, wow, okay, now it makes sense now. Not only does it make sense for the government because it makes money, but it also, listen, the Catskills is a great place, but we need things to do. We need great steakhouses and Chinese restaurants and great entertainment. The Concord was here for a long time in the Pines and the Raleigh. I grew up at the Pines skiing at the
Did you
Pines.
really?
Yeah, when I was a kid. And, that's what you did. But now you come up here and it's a true destination. What is that like just for you to see that?
It's been incredible to watch this happen. It's been incredible to work with groups like Resort World. I mean, what an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're the largest casino gaming facility, state-owned in the state. We're 90 minutes outside of the largest population. That's right there, right before our eyes.
Yeah.
We have the magnificent Delaware River. We have all these incredible, wonderful, pristine attributes that make up the Sullivan Catskills. But yet, that's all there, the river, the mountains, the eagles, all of the fun things. But then we've got this incredible facility right here. And we've got just so much growing. A lot of people have joined on, a lot of new openings, lots of new properties, lots of new experiences, from dining to inns to you just were watching a whole lot of growth that's followed, I think, largely because of the showcasing that this area is receiving from being home to the Resort World Catskills.
Wow.
And I just think it's an incredible synergy that's going on here.
And I think it really, and again, not to be political, but a lot of people like big businesses. You can't have all these big businesses come in that ruin small towns. They make towns better because they're really opening up a town to people that maybe not know what the Catskills is all about. With that said, what would you say if someone said to me, tell me something about Sullivan County that no one knows about, that you would say, before I left, I have to see this, whether it be like the Eagles, you said Eagles. I didn't know anything about that there were Eagles up here. So what's the thing that surprises people most about Sullivan County?
I think the thing that really surprises people is, did you know that we're the home of the original Woodstock Festival?
That's right.
51 years ago, right here in the Sullivan Catskills, 500,000 people converged peacefully. And I think we made a statement that's long changed society as we know it.
How far is Yasgur's farm from here?
Oh, from here, you're about
10 minutes.
10,
Oh, wow.
10, 11 minutes?
Yeah, if people haven't been out there, that's where Woodstock really happened. If you haven't been out there, I remember I did a show out there, and I remember going through the field and I'm spinning around, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm literally here where the stage was, where the helicopters came in behind the stage. And I mean, it's all glorified. It was like, oh, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but it rained. Those helicopters almost hit the mountain. I mean, people were sleeping in the mud. So we make it romantic, but it was. I mean, you really wanted to be here. You certainly didn't have a beautiful resort like this back then.
No, you certainly didn't. But the nostalgic there and the history that was made there. Now it's a historical site. It is the only museum in the United States that pays tribute to the 60s.
And great concerts.
Oh my God, our concerts, we were waiting to go back, but we've been really very fortunate where we've hosted some of the greats right there at the Bethel Woods site. And it's just a beautiful,
and it's an outdoor
process.
site, so you can really, even in this summer, you can socially distance and bring back the concerts, no?
Well, we hope so. Your mouth to our governor's ears. Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, we haven't been, we've been criticizing Governor Cuomo on this show for some of the arbitrary rules. I won't ask you to get involved in that, Meyer, because you have to work with it. Meghan, we're talking about economic drivers here, right? Under normal circumstances, how many people do you have employed over here? And, what does that do for the county? And then, Roberta, I'd love for you to say how that's kind of created more jobs around the area.
Yep. So normally we have about 1,400 employees here
That's
at
great.
Resorts World Catskills.
That's huge for an area of the country such as this.
That's correct. We're one of the largest employers in Sullivan County, as you can imagine, and one of the largest employers in the Hudson Valley region, Hudson Valley Catskills region.
Right.
Roberta?
Good
And just really quickly too, one thing that I want to make sure that we get across as well, and you're talking about big business and having an impact on the community. We have two initiatives that we've been trying to get the word out there. One is our Community Partners Program, where we work very closely to try to market and kind of co-promote our local small businesses, not only right here in Monticello, but throughout Sullivan County and even in the surrounding counties here around the Catskills. And then also we have our philanthropic arm called RW Gives, which is specifically meant for us to be able to donate to various 501c3s and 501c6s that have a strong impact. So to your point before, not only does Resorts World Catskills come and bring a world-class gaming and entertainment option for our guests, but it really does become an economic driver that helps the surrounding community as well.
Yeah, and what I love is people like you're in government and now you're in the hotel business. It's giving people a real career. There could be a kid that says, well, I live in the Catskills, maybe I'll become a mechanic, which there's nothing wrong with that. But, going to mechanic school and then all of a sudden they're working here in the casino. They're like, you know what? There's a real career here.
Yeah.
I can do real well, make real money, and really be part of something that brings me across the world because they have resorts all over the world. And that's one of the things that I try to really get to young people or even people that are changing careers is if you want to travel, okay, be a flight attendant, but you can also be in a hotel business and you can travel all over the world.
That's right. And like you said, right, we have marketing, we have finance, we have purchasing. There's the executive team, of course. It's a little bit of everything.
We have podcasting.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Perfect.
And should you want to do a regular Resorts World podcast, I know a couple of hosts that would be available for you. So just remember that, Anthony. How's that for the shameless asks, right? He's been trying to train me to do that sort of stuff. So Roberta, back to you for a second. Obviously, this project spurred a lot of economic development, probably around here as well. What kind of things have opened around here? What's it meant to the economy of Sullivan County and people staying employed?
Well, just that workforce that that Megan is speaking of,
Mhm.
the induced impact that happens in our community from this workforce. There's more Main Street purchasing, more shops. We found let me just kind of give you the
Yeah,
backdrop
please.
here. We are a county that is a fairly rural county.
Mhm.
We're the size of Rhode Island,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Our population is approximately 77 to 78,000 people. So having the ability to have great work available, especially through Resort World Catskills. I throw the Catskills in for you,
Yeah.
Megan. I make sure we keep it.
Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, there's a reason why you're president of the organization.
That's right.
No.
That's
we,
right.
we have, we've worked together throughout her work, political career,
Yeah.
as well as here. So it's been fun. We've gone back and forth on this, but the Catskills itself in the Sullivan Catskills, what we've seen is the ability now and the interest and the inspiration of others to come and open new businesses. We have a team, Foster Supply Hospitality, great deal of incredible inns and spas and things. And that, I think, is a part of this trip. Also, you're taking a look at attractions, main streets, our little shops, just everything is just kind of spurred off of that. And I think the interest in the second home industry here is incredible now. And we've
Yeah.
got a lot of breweries and distilleries and wineries, cideries, and all of that, I think, is on this. See, now you really want to do the
And
podcast.
yeah.
what does it feel like the second home industry is really becoming the first home industry?
Well,
What does that feel
Yeah.
like? What has that been
They're
like?
flip-flopping. New York
Like,
City is the second home now,
What
right?
do
Well-
people feel like that have been up here for years and now all of a sudden people are deciding to make this their permanent residence?
Well, it's great. They're exploring all we have to offer. Excuse my voice here. I'm talking too much today.
Keep going.
They see all we have to offer. Many of them come here, visit, stay, and they want to move here.
Right. Yeah. Why don't you take care of your throat?
I will.
I will mute you. All right. So, Megan, back to you. What's been the work experience been for you here, partnering with the good folks over at the association?
Listen, Roberta said this before, but her and I have worked together for about probably 10 years now in various roles that we've had. And, to have a champion like Roberta is for us, I can't begin to underscore how important it is. And, to what she had said before, this community is so close knit and so tight. And for us to be able to come in and provide opportunities to folks, it really does make a difference. But, we need to help and get Roberta helps in getting the word out there and really making connections and working with folks that we may have otherwise not had an opportunity to do.
Right.
And I can tell you that if there's any champion that we would ever need, it's Roberta. And we're just extremely lucky to have the partnership that we do.
And how challenging is it for the workforce? Because maybe a lot of people haven't been around first-class environments, first-class hotels. That service standard is elevated. So how challenging has that been?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, though. And one of the things that I think, really pride ourselves in is a very rigorous employee training program, right? So when we're bringing employees on, there's significant training that folks are going through. Even when we had to reopen after COVID, there was training safety classes that everyone had to go through prior to, them being on the casino floor or being in any department for that matter. And I think with anything, if there's a will, there's a way, and the employees or, the residents of the Sullivan Catskills and the surrounding areas that want to be employed by the casino really do everything that they're supposed to. They work extremely hard. I can tell you that even before I was working here, the level of courtesy and professionalism that our employees show is second to none.
Yeah.
Can you bring Glenn through that service training?
No
I'll be the
comment.
first big failure. Yeah, smart move, Megan.
And Roberta, I know a lot of hotels. I used to go to the Palaci's. I don't know if you're familiar with Palaci's, but it's a little Italian resort that we used to go up in August. They just closed, unfortunately. They retired. But one of the things they lived on is J1. And the international students that would come here and help support, summer vacations, because there's a lot of people that come up here. How's that been?
Well, we find that we've been a great resource for us too has been our college and their Catskill Hospitality Institute that they've been putting in place to be able to work with all of our accommodations, Resort Worlds, many of the other properties that we have here, to be able to provide that employee that you're looking for,
Right.
and that proper training.
And please introduce me to them, because I would love to come up and teach a little bit, lecture a little bit. So anything I can
Really,
do.
we'd
That would be
love to
wonderful.
have
I
you.
do it. I do it in a second. It's something that is, as Glenn knows, it's spiritual for me. It's a very big part of what I
Oh.
do.
That's
And
wonderful.
especially having a little bit of a background of our backyard, that makes it even more special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that nostalgia is really, I think, something that everybody's cheering for us to be that group.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you talk about our second homeowners, do you realize that we're the second largest second homeowner population in the state of New York?
No.
Wow.
What's
I
the
mean-
first? I'm curious.
Well, actually, it's the city. It's the city
Oh.
area is
Oh, okay.
because most of those places,
Right.
if you know, as you would imagine,
Yeah.
city in Long Island is really kind of that whole area that people have their second homes. But this little Sullivan Catskills, here we are. We're right up
Well,
there.
it makes a lot of sense because as we were talking to Marcio beforehand, it's only 79 miles or so from New York City, makes it very convenient. But I'm very curious, Roberta. COVID has struck everybody really
Ah.
hard, but there are a lot of areas that seem to be able to leverage their outdoor activities and stuff like that. What have been some of the opportunities that you've seen starting in like last May or June, and that are definitely going to go through this summer?
Well, I would have to tell you first and foremost that the hospitality industry in this county is an incredible, very hardworking,
Mhm.
pivotal group, because everybody is pivoted to truly try to make sure that we can bring visitors back. And we want to make, we launched a campaign, Catskill Confidence. And
Yeah.
basically, where you're safe, you're close, and
got
you
it
can
here.
be confident. There you go. Little gift that we had here for you. We wanted you to
Thank
see
you.
what we've been sharing with everyone. Open up for
Yep.
everybody.
Let's open this up. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
And that's what I love about the Catskills.
There goes producer Dave to the rescue because he knows I'm incapable of opening boxes.
What I love about the Catskills is no matter what town you're in, you can always find something that's cool and different. When I was at the Palacios, it's in the town of Catskill, and they have the cats all through the town.
Correct.
And one of the big things that we would look forward to every year going up there is I had a routine with my kids at 7:00 in the morning, and my kids are now this was like going back a year or two ago, they're 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. So they're not 12. And they would say, hey, let's get up early. We drive around, we find farms, and we would go and look at all the cats before we would start our day. And so the town really was very creative in giving us an activity that we look forward to every year.
Well, we kind of do the same thing right here, except in lining up with the 50th anniversary and Cats and Bethel Woods and Woodstock, that whole area. What we do is we have these incredibly beautiful, and I think you were greeted by one as you came into Resort Worlds. We have these incredible 7.5 foot by 5 foot doves. And there's
Beautiful.
50 of them that live in our county. Many hosts like Resort Worlds and many other properties are hosts to these. And we encourage our travelers to come through and visit all 50 of them. We've had a lot of people that come through, and it's a great social distancing activity that affords you the opportunity to still come in and populate all of our businesses and bring a little bit of wealth back into our businesses during this difficult time. But that was wildly popular for everyone because you could go, you could visit, you're outdoors, and a lot of our restaurants did a lot of outdoor and takeout, which we made sure we put in front of the traveling public. And even our Forestburg Playhouse, which we always affectionately called Broadway in the Woods. Well, they did too. They did Forestburg Under the Stars. And while Broadway was dark, many of those Broadway players were invited here to perform Under the Stars at this incredible site right in the woods in the Sullivan Catskills.
Wow.
I didn't know about that.
Yes, and we're going to continue it into this coming season. Hopefully, we're going to have a full season on the stage, but we're also
Right.
going to do the Under the Stars again.
But Roberta, it sounds to me like you're really taking opportunity to get people to understand what this market is all about. Folks that weren't looking at it before are now ready for it. And that's why you got great things. I love this. You got, look at this beautiful beer. I
There
love
you
this
go.
label. This is awesome.
And what is
right?
it? And what is it like to be like okay,
Beer koozie.
Catskills cool, and Sullivan County, what you do there is great, but okay, but now you're the focus. Now everybody's looking at you, going, "Wow, you're like now everybody." The city used to get all the shine. Now you're getting the shine. How does that feel?
Well, it feels great. It feels absolutely great. But let's keep in mind too that it's very important for us that our city is very much alive and well
Yep.
Sure.
and functioning, because a healthy New York City is a healthy Sullivan Catskills.
And it's a healthy United States of America.
Well, it quite honestly is. It's New York State.
We
It's
were
us.
talking about this yesterday.
Mhm.
America's not back till Broadway's back. Not New York, but America. America's not back until Broadway's back. And we were just talking to Charlie from the Schubert Group last
Yep.
week, and he's working real hard to get it open.
We all are, because we're all cheering for them, because that's really the heartbeat behind this entire state. And it's just an incredible experience, and it's known worldwide.
Yeah.
And we really need them back. But
And it's one of those experiences, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you've done, what you've invented, created, how much money you have, doesn't matter. Whether you're a kid, from the inner city, or whether you're a billionaire, you go to a Broadway play and you come out and you all feel the same thing. You feel
absolutely.
you feel inspired, and you feel like, wow, anything's possible.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah,
And we
need
were
it.
very, very pleased to be able to host some, Tony Award winners. And,
Awesome.
and really up here and performing and giving everybody just a little respite. Get out there, get under the stars, and enjoy everything that you could possibly do outdoors. Everything you could possibly do with six. And then, of course, we have our pinnacle property right here that did it absolutely right from the beginning. I mean, no, I think this is cleaner than most hospitals, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, this place has got all fresh air going through, six feet. I mean, everything is.
Oh, that's a really good point, Roberta. Megan, maybe you could speak to the fact that you guys spent a gajillion dollars. I think it was more like $1 million for an entirely new air system here. That really helps people feel comfortable on the casino floor.
Absolutely. So we there's actually no recirculation of air throughout the facility at the Catskills. So that was one of the biggest concerns when our not only our facility, but when a lot of the other casinos around the state were opening up. So not only do we have a state-of-the-art, air circulation system, again, that it's 100% fresh air all the time. What we also did was upgraded all of our filters in our HVAC units to MERV 15 grade filters. So to Roberta's point, those are actually in-hospital grade filters that are in our facility. So it is literally almost like an operating room when you are here at the Catskills. And to your point, you've been around the property, the amount of plexiglass that is up, forcing that social distancing is there. We clean all of our chips. No one touches one chip.
Yep.
Chips
Yeah,
aren't
tell us
passed.
about that, because you're doing it at a level, like I've been to Vegas during the COVID.
Never
and-
seen that before.
And they don't clean their chips. I mean, outside of maybe every couple of hours, I see them take the chips off the table. But you literally, I touch a chip, and that chip no one else touches. That's
correct.
crazy.
That's correct. So the chips were one of the main points. So what we tried to do when we were reopening and developing our reopening safety plan was to identify all of the high touch point areas throughout the property. And the chips were one of them, right? We even had, we purchased new equipment also that's at the casino entrance that is a touchless ID scanner now. So prior to coming in, before COVID, you would have your ID would be handed to the security guard.
Right.
The security guard would
course.
look at it, and then you would be handed your card back, and you would go on the floor. Now, as a guest, all you do is simply put your card into a little slot. It reads up on the screen for security to take a look, and then you're able to go forward. So go onto the floor. So again, we eliminated that touch point. And then with the chips, to your point, when you use a chip. When an individual or a guest use a chip, that chip will not be touched by another guest until it has been fully cleaned, disinfected, sanitized, dried, and then it's recirculated.
And
on the
that's
floor.
great. But as an operator,
It's
I mean,
tough.
that is insane, because like I said, in Vegas, I feel really safe. I
Yep.
mean, you're not touching your face because you have your mask on. There's plexiglass everywhere. No one's eating at the table. When you're drinking, you have a straw, you put the mask back up. So the chips, I feel very safe. I'm Purelling my hands every
Yep.
10 minutes. So that seems, again, I think New York's done a good job in the beginning of really getting us under control, but that seems a little bit difficult for a casino to really accommodate that. That seems not only expensive, but it just doesn't seem realistic. And the longer it takes for you guys to kind of change that policy, the longer it is for me to get to a poker table at your resort.
I hear you. And listen, we've been working hand in hand with the state government since this entire, since the onset of the pandemic. And while the restrictions here are extremely aggressive, we have done everything we can to abide by those protocols and those safety measures to ensure that everyone continues to be able to enjoy our facilities. And we're looking forward to working with the state to try to see other ways to make sure that folks are safe, but also see what we can do to kind of ease that burden on operations.
Right. And to be fair, I mean, they're trying to keep everyone safe, and that's the
Absolutely.
key.
Yep.
You know, and people forget about that when there were ice trucks in the parking lots of hospitals.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's scary.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, it was like 3 seconds ago. Especially here in the Catskills, there's not the same facilities you have as in the city. So you got to be really, really careful. So it's not to negate what the government's trying to do. It's just, like you said, you got to work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Roberta, one of the struggles that we find here on the show is trying to help people find the balance between keeping people safe and keeping people employed. How are you balancing that when you're talking to Meghan and the government?
Well, what we're trying to do is obviously share our concerns that impact our facilities like Resort World Catskills. Those are some of the concerns that we continue to bring up as issues that need to be addressed and make things a little bit more normal for all of us to do our business and keep people employed, welcome more guests, make sure everybody feels confident and safe when they travel to the Catskills. And those are some of the things that we need to negotiate a little bit more, because we came out of the gate and everybody did above and beyond. If you were asked to do, the 10-point, we did 20, just to make sure, because we knew how important it was for our community to begin to open up, begin to welcome people here. And I think we've done that in a very good way, because people are coming back again and again. Honestly, while we haven't got everything open at full capacity, we certainly have been able to enjoy, I apologize.
No,
We
don't
have
worry.
been
Keep
able
going.
to enjoy a good influx of travelers, a good influx of visitors. And we're not only concerned about our visitors' safety, but we're also concerned about our front line, all of our workers, all of our residents,
Right.
because a healthy community and a community that's truly working as a team to try to make those experiences as positive as possible is really going to resonate
And what has that been like? Because I know in the Catskills, listen, everybody's trying to get the piece of the pie, and a lot of, especially 20 years ago, there's a lot of silos, a lot of it's my restaurant, it's my B&B, and everybody's trying to stay away from everyone else as far as collaboration. What have you seen during COVID? Have you seen a true collaboration that you win, I win? Like before we were talking about, and they were talking about their competition, they were embracing their competition. I think you have to do that. So what do you see?
I've seen that. I've seen our restaurants, our attractions, our businesses. Everyone is working in tandem to make sure that we're open, that everybody is getting a little piece of the pie, because everyone needs to stay open for us to have a destination that's going to inspire continued and sustained visitation over here. So all of them are working together. I'm finding restaurants working with hotels, working with attractions, everything from our big Kevs to, our anything you want to see, a barbecue place. Everybody is in this to work as a team. In fact, our office even went forward in the beginning and put forth inspiring gift certificates. So if you spent $100, we'd incentivize an additional $25, just so you go and start to go into our restaurants and start to have that feeling of safety, and not only help our restaurant owners, but make you feel a little more confident on those decisions to get out there. So far, everybody's come back and we've heard nothing but rave reviews. Our businesses are truly doing an excellent job making sure that the front line is there and is ready to greet them in the safest, most convenient way for everybody.
Right. Meghan?
Well, it's been, to Roberta's point, it's been, COVID had an impact on everyone, right? Regardless of what industry you were in, regardless of what age you were, regardless of where you lived. And what we've tried to do is really work with our community in making sure that we are co-promoting, we are kind of co-sponsoring various things. As I said to you, we're becoming more involved in our community giving program through RW Gives, and really making sure, first and foremost, that our employees and our guests are safe. And then secondly, that we can uphold our commitment to reinvest in the community that we did when we first opened this facility back in February of 2018. So it's been great. And I think everyone is going to get out of this pandemic because we are all working together. And there is no way, I think if this pandemic showed us anything, you are not off on an island and you cannot do it alone. So if we are not working together and we are not working collaboratively with our neighbors and others, it's going to be a long road ahead. But I think that we're positioned well.
And I also think from a customer standpoint and also a business standpoint, is I don't think we're going to take each other for granted anymore.
I agree.
I think restaurants and hotels are going to truly embrace their clients. And I know as a customer, I'm going to truly embrace, what it takes to run an opera. I know because I'm in the business, but like, I think people are really going to understand each other's point of view and welcoming back these hotels and these restaurants that did make it through. Because if you didn't make it through, your guest really misses you and they're going to feel just even a greater connection. And hopefully that will help the servers because they'll get bigger tips.
Funny you should say that. A lot of the responses we got were from visitors that had been here year and year after year. And what their concerns were, many of them were buying gift certificate programs and certificates just to get them to the restaurants. Because when they come back and when it was safe to travel, they wanted to make sure that all of these businesses that everybody's so enjoyed and so beloved to everyone are in place and that their doors are open and they're able to come back and enjoy that fine dining experience or that experience that they remembered from a couple of years past. And I think that's really kind of the whole grouping, the whole circle. I mean, the visitors want to come back here. We want to make sure that everybody's safe. This industry was hit the hardest. The hospitality industry, let's call it. I've been in this my entire life. I have never seen it go through what it has. And to be honest with you, I've never seen such a group that's so resilient, as well as so respectful of one another and truly, truly wanting to give a leg up to one another. And we want to make sure that we're all back together and we're all enjoying.
There's a feeling kind of like when you go to Hawaii, everybody loves the land and everybody feels like almost like they're separate from the country. Like in the Catskills, it feels the same thing. It feels like there's spiritual about the land and about the mountains and about, really keeping it pristine and really keeping it what it's supposed to be like.
Yep, absolutely. Because we want you to come back again. And look, we want you to take those little nostalgic memories. And look what I did when I was a child, when I'm growing up. I want my family to experience that good stuff and that beautiful surroundings in this incredible experience. And we're going to make sure it's here for you.
Right.
And we're going to keep it up.
My kids' memories, I would say, greatest memories of vacation is the Catskills, is Palacios. I tell the story from time to time. We had a gift certificate to the Four Seasons Maui penthouse from the Four Seasons Maui. And my family was crying when they said we're going to Maui this year. It was a couple of years ago. And again, they're not 12 years old at the time. They're older teenagers. And they all cried, said, no, we're going to Palacios. So they gave up Maui for Palacios.
Wow.
Now there's a testament to the Catskills.
Absolutely.
That's
there
amazing.
You go.
Well, I will always have great memories. And whenever I'm driving around here, I'm like, oh, that's where I hurt myself skiing. Oh, that's where I hurt myself falling off a snowmobile. So got plenty of great memories.
That's
here.
where the girl said no. She's not going to take me.
I got that in every city I go to. Roberta, how about some good final thoughts on how we could learn more about coming up here to enjoy the Sullivan Catskills?
Well, we encourage everybody, go online, sullivancatskills.com. Enjoy all we have there. Reach out to us, 1-800-882-CATS.
Right.
We're always there. We're ready to help. And I want you to come take a visit. I'm sure once you come here and see all we have to offer, you'll be back again and again.
Right. Remember, the Sullivan Catskills are the authentic ones. Don't go to the don't go to the Gilbert Catskills. You want the Sullivan Catskills. Little Broadway humor there for people.
I gotcha.
I'm glad. I have to say these things because my jokes are not funny.
Your jokes always go way over my head.
Way over my head. I feel like I should do the sad trombone sound, but I'm going to spare you, Anthony. Megan, how about some final thoughts from you and a good shameless plug?
Absolutely. Listen, first of all, thank you both so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure having you and showing you our beautiful facility here at Resorts World Catskills. And for anyone that doesn't have plans coming up for the wonderful Valentine's Day weekend, next weekend, we have some great promotions. Take a look at our website, rwcatskills.com. Take a look at us or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Stay up to date with all of our wonderful things that our marketing team and our promotional team has coming for you. And hopefully we see you all again very
Look at those
very
hotel
soon.
skills. You used to be in government. Get out of here. Look at that. That was seamless.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. All right.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Really
you for
appreciate
being
you.
It was a
here.
pleasure.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much. This has
That
been
was fun.
This was a lot of fun, but honestly, not as much fun as getting your taxes lower. That's right. Lower your property taxes with the good folks over at brightsupport.net. Find them at brightsupport.net/hotels or call them at 833-411-2233. That's 833-411-2233. Remember, they can help you lower your taxes. You've made less money last year. They'll help you. Anthony, any final words before we wrap up today?
Yeah, let's take us out. But tomorrow we are going to be at one of my favorite resorts in the entire world.
Yeah, that's right. Even though we had a great time today here at Resorts World Catskills, tomorrow we are going to be up at the Roxbury Motel. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to do that. Anthony, until tomorrow, remember, guys, you've got one life, so blaze on and
Be kind to yourself.
see y'all later.